fourth grade families, it's Mrs. Spears. I am just making a quick video that goes over the information from the parent meeting that we had last night on Zoom. We had several parents say that they weren't able to make it, whether it was due to technology issues or scheduling issues. So we definitely want to make sure you didn't miss out on that information just because of that. So I am making a quick video that goes over everything we talked about. But if you have more specific questions, you are always welcome to email any one of us, and we will get right back to you as soon as we can. This was the letter that was sent home in your child's bag that had all of their class materials in it. It was on a big yellow piece of paper, or orange piece of paper, and it had basically the most important questions that we've been getting asked from parents. So, and then information to go along with it. The most number one question that I have been getting, and that other teachers have been getting, is how and when are you going to get your lesson plans for your fourth graders each week? Each week on Sunday evenings, I'm going to be sending that out to you, and I will put it on a variety of platforms so that it's as accessible as possible. I will put it on Class Dojo. I will put it on Class News, which is our Concept Sys page. And those class news announcements automatically get sent to whatever email addresses are in our system for your child. So if your personal email is attached to your child's account online, you should be getting them through that. If it's not, you may want to call the office and update your information, or contact us directly, and we will make sure you still get it that way. But I'll be sending it out through that, and I will also be posting it on Google Classroom, which I'll walk you through that here in a minute, because I want you to be able to see what your child's page should look like and how to navigate it in case you need to do it yourself. Each week you are going to be getting a PDF file that has this information for each week's lesson plans. Your PDF file will have more information on it than I have on the screen right now. On this screen, I have taken off all of the websites and passwords and email addresses because I am putting this video on YouTube so you can see it easier. I didn't want anybody's contact information on this video presentation. So when you get this each week, it will have all of our email addresses on it. It will also have passwords for Zoom sessions and links for Zoom sessions and things like that. But I didn't want to put that on here because I wanted to protect people's privacy. So, but basically each week follows this similar format. On the yellow slide is probably one of the most important parts of the week. This will have all of the links that your child will probably be using pretty much every day. Ms. Smith and I both have YouTube channels. Again, it's not on here, but it will be when you get it in your own personal accounts. That's where you will find a daily lesson plan or a daily lesson video from each of us. For me, I use it to go over the kids' lessons and their books from each day, which I'll get into that more in a minute. You will also find our Zoom links on here. Again, I don't have them on here, but they will be normally, as well as the passwords to get into those sessions. After that, you will have a slide for each day of the week, and it will have all three classes on here, all three core classes on here. Ms. Smith's lesson plans are the English ones. Mr. Hill's lesson plans are the science and social studies. And my lessons are here on the math part. These times on here are just suggestions. They're not requirements. We were advised by our administrators to set up enough instruction to last for about 2.5 hours a day for fourth grade age group. So we suggest you spend about an hour on English, an hour on math, and about a half an hour on science and social studies. You guys can do that whenever fits your schedule. I know that this whole COVID-19 thing has caused a lot of schedule issues for a lot of families, and everybody's in a different situation. So we are as flexible as you need us to be. Those times, like again, they are not required for those specific times. They are just suggestions. It helps you pace the kids throughout the day so they're not doing all of their schoolwork at one time, but if that's what you need to do for your family and your schedule, we completely understand. The only thing that is fixed in time is the Zoom times. Ms. Smith will be Zooming every day of the week from 9:30 a.m. to 10 a.m., and that's listed on here. Mr. Hill will Zoom from Tuesday and Thursday from 10:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. And I will be Zooming Monday through Thursday from 1:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. And those are open to the kids. Again, you go back to the yellow slide, find the link and the password, and get them logged in from there. Hopefully after helping them after a week or two, the kids will be able to do it on their own. But they will definitely probably need some help from an adult as we're getting everybody settled. We would like to stick with Zoom as much as we can. It has a lot of neat features that help us teach in the best way we can think of. We may be using Google Hangouts at some point, especially if we have one-on-one video chats or small groups or things like that. It's difficult to use that program for large groups of kids. So we'll be trying to use Zoom as much as we can. We know we've had a lot of families say that they can't get Zoom to work. That's something you may need to contact Mr. Ermea about. He's our tech guy. His email address will be on your lesson plans for this week. And he can help you walk you through your specific needs in that department. Everybody's got a different issue with it, so we've been doing our best to help you troubleshoot and figure it out, but he will be the best resource on that kind of thing. But as far as lesson plans go, we have been trying to keep our lesson plans in a really similar format to each day to help make this as independent as possible for our students. For the English lessons, Miss Smith has something, every day they will be working towards their novel study on the book Holes. That book was sent home in their materials as well. She's got YouTube videos where she reads along with the text, as well as activities and journal entries that go with that. So those will be listed each day in her lesson plans. Her Zooms are not required, but she does highly suggest them. She understands if you can't make it to those Zoom times, but she also really tries to encourage it because she knows it will really enhance their learning if they join those times. Same thing with Mr. Hill. He would really like you to join if you can, but we understand that sometimes that doesn't get to happen always. He said that most of his assignments will be posted in Google Classroom, and I'll show you where that is here in just a second. But he will also have directions on here that go with it too. And for me, mine will be the same format for the most part each day. I have a YouTube video that goes through the lesson pages for each of their daily lessons, and then they will complete the homework page. It's in their book that goes with the lesson they just did. If they join me for Zoom at 1:30, I'll go through the homework page during that time. But again, it's not required for me. It's one of those I suggest that the kids come in with me if they still need help on something. But if they're able to do it on their own, they don't need to if they don't want to, or they can't, or something like that. But so that's what we're using all of those tools for. Also on here are lesson plans for specials. Gym and art and music and character et al. Are on here too. We just suggest that you put those in wherever you have time. They are extra things for the kids to do. I don't know if they have any to turn in anything for those. I'm not really sure. So you just have to follow the directions for each week. It just kind of depends on what they've assigned. How long should my child spend on lessons each day? Again, it's about 2.5 hours. We suggest an hour for math, an hour for language arts, and half an hour for science and social studies. So we have suggested times for you that help you space them throughout the day so your child doesn't get overtaxed at one time, but it is all a suggestion. We understand that you need to do whatever you need to do for that. How will my child turn in their assignments? Let me pull you over to Google Classroom here real quick. And let me show you a little bit about how this works. This is the main homepage for all the fourth graders are on the same class on Google Classroom. We just kind of put them all in together. This is what we kind of call the wall. It reminds me of like a Facebook wall or other social media wall where kids can post in questions and things like that. It's called the stream here on Google Classroom. But I will be posting lesson plans on here. I will be, like I did today, this is for tomorrow's lesson plans already. I will screenshot each day's lessons and put them on this stream each day too to help remind the kids what they're supposed to be doing each day as well. If there is an assignment that's been posted in Google Classroom, because Google Classroom has different features that allow us to create assignments in here, and the kids can do it on here and turn it in on here too, instead of trying to do it on a separate platform and then turn it in, which is kind of nice, but all of us are using it in different ways. Mr. Hill is using it quite a bit. If you go to classwork, he has it labeled for you for the week with the lesson plans. All of your materials, your assignments, your links, everything that you need for his classes are linked here under the classwork section. And he will label what the date is and which it goes with it. And if you follow the directions on each of the assignments, it'll tell you how to submit it back to him so he can grade it and look at it. For me, on Fridays, you will see a Google form pop up on here. And the goal of the Google form, I have picked problems from the videos throughout the week and from the pages that have been done on the kids' pages throughout the week. And I've put those problems on a Google form. And all they have to do is put in the answers from their work in the previous week. It's no new problems. It's just having them put in answers from old problems they've done throughout the week. And that's my way of just checking in and seeing how they're doing with the content and making sure they're staying on track. As far as grades go, we have been told by our administrators that there will be no grades for K to 5 for this fourth quarter. And the reason behind that is our goal right now is to just get the kids ready for next year, because we can't work with them, interact with them in the classroom. We are not really worried so much about hard grades. We're just really worried about getting the rest of the year's content into their brains so they're ready for next year. So all of these assignments will be checked over by us. For me, the practice pages in the book I won't check over, but I will check the Google Forms. And the whole purpose of checking them is for feedback. We'll be giving the kids feedback on how they're doing, how they can improve. And if we're noticing struggle areas, we know what to base our further instruction on. But there will be no actual grades that show up in the grade book for these assignments because of that. Over here you will see a lot of those assignments too. They should pop up as with due dates and things like that. This is one of Mr. Hill's assignments for science. It'll pop up over here. But tell the kids to check this wall regularly. One of the things we've noticed with the kids is that they have been posting questions to us in this stream right here. Like they have a screen that looks like this, and they can ask questions on here. The best way to get a hold of us is actually through email. Yes, we catch these questions sometimes on here, but we don't always get all of them all the time, especially when we have a lot of kids commenting over and over and over again on things. We don't always catch everything. So the best thing you can do is to email us, and we're trying to train the kids to do the same thing and have them send us emails when they have questions for us specifically, especially on assignments that are coming due. Like I said, assignments will be on here. Some of our assignments are on paper. Miss Smith's, I think, are on paper, and she'll give you directions about how she wants you to turn that in. With Miss Smith and Mr. Hill, all of their assignments are they'll give them to you on Monday, and you have all week to turn them in by Friday. We understand if you have to do them over the weekend and they don't get turned in until the following week. But beyond that, we'll probably contact you and see how things are going. For me, I won't give out the assignments until Fridays, because I don't want the kids seeing what problems are on the assignment and just doing those problems and not doing the rest of the practice throughout the week. So they won't know what those questions are until the very end of the week. But I'm